afternoon. We are winter sowing on a beautiful, beautiful February sunny day, the time when you want to get into the garden and play in the soil, but obviously the gardens aren't ready for us, but we can do some winter planting and deal with this outside instead of having to do grow lights and heating pads and all that other stuff. So this is a quick overview. So you're going to need empty milk jugs of some sort or vinegar jugs that the sun can get through, not opaque. Sun is clear is okay too. This is what I have. To prepare your jugs, lids come off. You have some kind of a pokey device, ice pick, awl, something like that. You poke holes in the top. I have 4 or 5 here. You poke 4 or 5, 6 holes in the bottom, and then you poke one hole to the left of the handle or the right of the handle, and that's where you're going to start cutting. We put a rubber band because that's a nice cut line. Rubber band goes around this jug, and then you cut around, and we've got Pac-Man. See? So then what happens, and we'll get started on those later, but what happens is we go over to our soil here. So this is regular potting soil, no fertilizer necessary. I have pre-wetted it. When the soil comes out of the bag, it's super dry. You have to pre-wet the water to go in here. I've already dumped in 1.5 gallons of water. You'd be surprised. You want your soil wet enough to clump like this. Remember, there's holes in the bottom, so it doesn't matter if it's a little too wet. It'll just leak out, but you don't want it dry. So you fill, let's go over this way. Fill your container just to below the cut line of soil. Pat it down a little bit with your hand, back of your hand, but not hard. So now we're going to plant plants in here. Let's start with spinach. Spinach hates me. I keep trying to grow it. I'll keep trying. So we're going to take a nice little amount, maybe a teaspoon or so. Not all of them will germinate. We're going to sprinkle these. Can you get in here, Lori? We're going to sprinkle these nicely on top. This is a bigger seed, so we're going to cover it with a little bit of soil. The super fine seeds you don't have to cover. And then like peas and things, you stick your finger down in and get them down in. All right, that looks like enough for me. And then I'm going to get a little bit more soil and stick on top, just like it would grow in the garden. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. Pat it down nicely, not hard, just like, nicely. Make sure everything is snug as a bug in there. Now, to remember what I did, because I'm going to do lots of these, I have a yogurt container that paid the ultimate sacrifice and has been cut into markers. Grease pencil, not Sharpie, they fade. Ask me how I know. I write on here spinach, ACH. Stick it right next to Pac-Man's mouth or head. And on the front of mine, I reuse these. This is 3rd or 4th year with this container. I'm going to rewrite on here, on the outside, spinach. Doesn't have to be clean. I'm the only one who has to read it. So now it's labeled on the inside, labeled on the outside, and I have to get the tape and tape the thing shut. Here we are, tape. You can use duct tape or painter's tape. I use packing tape because it's what I have. We start over here by the little Pac-Man hand and come all the way around. Cut the tape off and then make a tab, because you'll hate yourself if you don't have a tab, because then you can't get them open. And we are done. Spinach is planted. I have a few more to do. What's going to happen with this? Come over this way. I'm going to set it out here. I did a jug in December. Excuse the cooking hazard. So this jug will sit here next to the brown-eyed Susans that I did in December. You can see that they're in the sunshine, dappled kind of, not cooking. They're outside in the rain. They're not going to be next to the house because there's no water there. Mother Nature will rain on them. She will sun on them. And when it's time for them to grow, they will grow.